I kind of like shoved all the stuff in the corner, but I didn't really realize that this is where all the good lighting would be. Yeah, but I thought we would change up the scene for the hand washing challenge. Hi, welcome back to the Cloth Diaper Podcast. My name is Bailey, and today we're going to talk about 9 ways that you can rock your hand washing routine. It's Flats and Hand Washing Challenge week this week, and while I'm up in bed recovering from bunion surgery, I thought we could sit down and chat about hand washing. I've participated in the hand washing challenge now for 3 years. I hand washed diapers this week, the week before the challenge, just to kind of create some content and build this conversation. I think the Flats and Hand Washing Challenge is a really important challenge in many ways. There's the idea and the conversation around diaper need and really tackling some of those, but I can't do diapers because. And then there's also this conversation about learning, and that I think there's so much value in learning to hand wash diapers that it teaches you about the whole washing process. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. The Cloth Diaper Podcast is dedicated to everything cloth diaper. We talk about the basics to the more complicated topics. We cover a whole range of conversations, and I really love your comments in the comment section below. A lot of people have claimed I have an agenda. I do. My agenda is to share my cloth diapering experience the way it is to me. So this is a blog post that I wrote a couple years ago for Simply Mom Bailey. So you can find it over there. I'm gonna link it down below. I'm just gonna pull it up. So over the past few years, I've done a couple of different ways of hand washing. I've used a washboard. I've used my good old hands. I used the scrub bag, and I have used this system. So the first suggestion that I have for you, if you are hand washing diapers, is to make sure that you open up your diapers. So as soon as you take your diaper off baby, it might be a great idea to put it in your bin or your bag or wherever you're storing your dirty diapers. If you're using a bin system, this is a really great place to put them, because once the bin is too full, you know you really need to wash your diapers. Opening them up, unraveling them, really to me finds it helped dry them out, and I find that for some reason diapers are a little easier to clean when the urine kind of breaks down and dries out. The second one that I have written down, and I would gotta disagree with former Bailey, is to use gloves. Yes, use gloves, but only if you're really using a detergent. Like I used 7th Generation today, and I definitely kind of feel it on my hands a little bit. But if you are using a soap or a really gentle, even I want to use soap nuts, chances are you don't really need the gloves as much. I'm not really a glove person. I secretly hate gloves. So instead of wearing gloves and washing with Tide, I have now decided to find a nicer detergent, because I would rather just use something gentler on my hands than wear gloves. That's how my feelings about gloves are. But do think about gloves just for saving your hands, because your hands will take a beating. If you're using a plunger, I really recommend drilling holes in that bad boy. I don't know if you can tell, but holes in the plunger will really help with the agitation. It makes a lot of difference in like how easy it is to plunge. It also just is, I found a total game changer. Also, don't cheap out on one of these. I know I've seen people in the past who have just bought the cheap ones from the dollar store and they kind of fall apart. But seriously, this is like, you're going to use this every day. So don't buy a cheap one. Buy something that is kind of sturdy, because a good chance they might break. I'm just saying, the one like the cheap dollar store, I have one, but I wouldn't trust it with my diapers. In your washing machine, we use a buttload of detergent. When you're hand washing, don't use that much. Use maybe a tablespoon of Tide, maybe a tablespoon of detergent, and a little bit of soap. Start with less and work your way up. If you find that a tablespoon isn't enough for the size of diapers that you're doing or the dirtiness of your diapers, then for sure use more, but there's no point in starting with too much, because you'll be rinsing your diapers for days. I can remember rinsing my diapers for days the first year because I might have used like 1/4 cup of detergent, and that is just gonna set you up for like torture. You do not need that much detergent. The nice thing about hand washing is it is a really controlled, really agitating local space, and you can get those diapers clean without massive amounts of detergent. Heck, you can get diapers clean in your own washing machine without massive amounts of detergent. So scale it back, start small, and add your way up. If you have really hard water, you might find that you don't need water softeners, because the whole process of redepositing minerals, first of all, I kind of think is a little, but second of all, is less likely to happen in this small system with the agitation, with the hand washing that's going on. The other next thing I want to talk about is that it's not a super fine art of science. It's not something that you really need to learn the technical details of. It's something that you can just sit down and scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and plunge and plunge and plunge, or whatever you do. It's really basic. Trust in your instincts. Trust in what you know, and experiment. And if you're not sure if you're doing it right, keep trying, and you're doing it right as long as the diapers don't come out smelling like poop or pee. You're doing it right if the diapers come out clean. You're doing it wrong if your diapers smell like poop. And that's not a bad thing. It just means you need to switch up your routine and try something different. And that trying something different can be really small. It can be adding more detergent. It can be using hotter water. It can be soaking them for longer. I don't mind a good little soak. I'm not really one to do a soak in my hand wash routine, but maybe if you have really potent urine that sat for a while, you'll find that maybe a soak helps. So it's about small changes, and there's no really like do this for that, this for that. It's like experiment around until you figure it out. And then also keep it super simple. And I think that really goes in line with what I was just saying, is whatever you decide to do, however you decide to wash your diapers, keep it simple and keep it straightforward. A plunger is really nice because it does save your hands, but the simplicity of just like kneading and washing the diapers in the sink can be a great way to wash your diapers. There's no need to get overcomplicated, no need to stress it out. Rinse out that pee and poop, then wash out the pee and poop, then rinse out all the remaining detergent, spin it dry, hang it to dry. You're good to go. That's it. You'll probably find that your flats do get stiff sitting on the line. A lot of people will iron their flats, or they'll try to shake them. So that's one way that you can fix that stiffness. I find I got a lot of stiffness when I was using way too much detergent, but I find that really like just flapping them around in the wind helps. And if you do have wind outside, the wind will also help kind of soften them up. But air drying in general tends to leave a rougher diaper. On my blog post, I also left some tips here for how to do it if you have two under two, because last year I did it. I had 2 kids under 2, which was a little bit crazy. My first one was get to them to help, and my son was a really great helper with the plunger, and he really enjoyed it. And you know what? I strongly believe in getting children to help when you're doing chores. I think it's a great way to teach them that there are things to do in the house. I don't like to do chores when my kids are sleeping because I don't want them to wake up and realize, wow, the house suddenly got clean. Magic fairies. So getting them to help was a great way to do it. I also did a lot of baby wearing. I have done a lot of baby wearing over the years while I've hand washed my diapers. I've also done it when the kids are napping. Anna is napping right now, and my husband took my son to the playground. Actually, I think he went to go get his hair cut, which I don't. Sometimes you just need to put on Paw Patrol. And yeah, get your husband to help. Trying to find the time to hand wash diapers if you're a working mom is probably going to be really challenging. I am falling into that category of just a stay-at-home mom, so it is something that I have found was easy enough to get into my routine and get into my day-to-day life. I know that some people will hand wash each diaper in the sink as it comes off the bum. That can be a really great way to do it if you feel that the 20 minutes dedicated to washing diapers is overwhelming. If you're not already in the Flats and Hand Washing group on Facebook, I'll put that link down below, but it's a great spot and place on the web to find support, to find other people and find out how they do it. Hand washing diapers is a great way to save a little money if you're on a coin washing system. It's a great way to wash your diapers while you're traveling. I will hand wash diapers when I do road trips. Last summer I went around the Peace and I hand washed my diapers in the hotel in Fort St. John. My only word of wise there is that hotels are terrible places to dry diapers, and I probably should have just found the dryer and tossed them in there. Or when you're camping, they're really great. I know a lot of people have used hand washing techniques during major emergencies, and I have a go bag downstairs, not because I live in like an earthquake zone or anywhere really dangerous. I live in a fire zone. So we get forest fires around us quite regularly, and if we had to evacuate and go somewhere, it's one way that I can keep fresh diapers on my baby's bum without having to worry about supplies. Because for me, and in years past, supplies have been an issue. Getting access to diapers, getting access to food, getting access to clothes can be an issue if wildfires cut off roads. I don't live super remote, but these are the things that keep me up at night during wildfire season. And so hand washing is something that works. I also, when I started cloth diapering, there were a lot of parents, there was a hurricane that ran through New York, and they hand washed diapers while they were out of access to all that stuff, because that's kind of what the option was. And they hand washed with cold water because that's all they had. These things can work, and it's one of the reasons that at the end of the day I really fall upon natural fibers as my recommendation and simple inserts, because it's so much easier to hand wash those kind of diapers in emergency situations than it is to hand wash microfiber. Yeah, if you have any more questions about hand washing, be sure to drop them down below. That's all the information and knowledge that I really have at this moment. Can't say I enjoy hand washing, but it is something that I love being familiar to know with. It does provide me ease of mind during wildfire season and when I go camping with the kids. All right, till next time.